Family knew about my abuse but chose to stay silent for years. I'm stepping up to break the cycle and seek justice for my cousin. When I was around 4 to 6 years old, I'm currently 26, I would go over to my aunt's house a lot to play with my cousins. A lot of times she would be there talking to my grandma or she wouldn't be home at all. Which, thinking about it now, kind of feels like a setup. Her husband would pull me away and assault me in a closet and then send me back to play. I don't remember what he said to get me to go with him, but he was family technically, so I trusted him. And I hadn't even started kindergarten yet. How was I supposed to know these things were bad? At some point there was urine involved in what we were doing, and that's when it kind of hit me. Oh, this is his private parts. This isn't supposed to happen, is it? But he had basically sworn me to secrecy, and just beat it into my head that I could never tell anyone, and so I was scared. Him and my aunt had just had baby girl a few months prior, and that's what made me decide to ask about it. Because I, at 6 years old, was worried that he might do this to her also. I grew up in really bad situations around some shady people my grandma knew, so I was always protective over my sister from a young age since I was older, so maybe that's why I was worried about her? But anyways, I finally talked to my grandma about it and she told me that I couldn't tell anyone or CPS would take me away from her, and we had already had so many scares, so this absolutely horrified me and I never said anything. But a year or so passed and I was still thinking about their daughter. We were all in the same house at some point, not the uncle, they did stop allowing him around the family, but I wanted my grandma to tell my aunt. So I went up to my grandma and asked her, and she was not taking me serious. She was treating me like a little kid that was too scared to go and ask for candy out of an office clerk's jar. Smiling and lock, hing ha, no you do it, I'm 7 now, I'm still very young, and after all the fear they've put in me, it's not a small thing to go and tell someone I was assaulted by their husband. After that I kind of just felt defeated and never said anything again. Fast forward a few years. CPS ended up relocating me and my sister when I was about 10 to go live with my aunt across the country, who we've never really met. We ended up living a much better life, so I'm really thankful for that happening and for her. When I turned 15 in the summer, my aunt had set up for us to go back and visit my mom and 3 other siblings for about a month. And it was great for the most part. I loved hanging out with them. They had grown so much since I had last seen them. My mom comes to me and she sits me down and tells me some devastating news. Apparently my cousin, the son of my abuser, was caught doing the same thing to my baby brother. And my mother was coming to me to ask if she thinks I should do anything. At this point I've buried this. It does still bother me, but no one cared about me enough to get justice for me, and now the same is happening to my brother, and I was and am still so hurt. And she manipulated the story so that I'd say no. She told me that it would tear the family apart, her sister might kill herself if her husband or son went to prison for this. She couldn't handle this ruining her life. And she also said that my brother was so young she doesn't think he remembers and she doesn't want to ask. And if he didn't remember, I don't want him to have to live with that trauma. And I still feel guilty for saying no. But oh my God, you're my mother. You should want to protect your kids at all costs against anyone? Why are you coming to your children to ask if they want to be protected, or if they want you to choose them over a literal child molester? Once I fly back across country to where I was living, I kinds of softly stop talking to my family. I just don't reply as much or reach out. And it's been over 10 years now and the connection between us is awkward. My mom doesn't understand why I don't like her or want to speak to her ever. It's because of this. Because she didn't care about me. I spent my whole life protecting my sister, and that's all I wanted from her was to protect and defend me, you know? That hurt me so much. And typing it out again, I'm starting to cry. BC, I'm still not over it. Fast forward to last night. Thanks for reading this far. I know it's a lot. My sister, who has moved back to be with our other siblings, calls me while I'm at work at 4 a.m. It's 7 a.m. for her, so not too odd, but she knows what time it is for me, so it's a little alarming. I was busy, so I didn't answer the first call, but she called again, so I got worried and walked away to answer. Y'all. So the daughter I was worried about getting assaulted, finally told everyone that she had been getting assaulted for the last 4 years. Her mom almost died of COVID and was in the hospital for months, and that's when he took the opportunity. And that crushed me. I hope to God that never happened, and now it has. She told the police, and for some reason they don't believe her, and my entire family was like, oh, what if we contact me to testify on her behalf? Mom has been posting on Facebook for pity, asking people to pray for her, and her life is so bad, and what did she do wrong to deserve this? And she's reposting those ugly text things old people repost about how she needs a man that loves her. She's not asking for prayers for her daughter. Do you know what is it that's upsetting her? Her husband asked for a divorce. That's why she's crying on the internet. Not because he's been continuously raping their daughter for 4 years. I am sick to my stomach. My mom was one of the people who suggested calling me. But she couldn't call me herself because I don't want this to be the only reason I defend my kid, and I think now it's hit her why I hate her so much. I'm going to testify. I'm not mad the police are involved and that they're doing something finally. I'm just upset that it took this long, that it's only because they're getting a divorce most likely that's it's okay this time. And my aunt was more concerned with using this against him in the divorce than about her daughter's well-being. I also found out the entire family has known about me my entire life. All these people and no one cared about me. It's insane. I couldn't imagine hearing this happen to a child now and letting it slide. How do you do that? When I talk to the police though, I'm telling them everything. About me and my brother, about everyone who told me to keep quiet, and also that his wife aided and abetted his abuse. I hope everyone goes to jail and gets put on a registry. I want all of their lives ruined for this. I feel like I'll probably have to go to therapy for this soon. It's brought up so many feelings that I really just thought would go away with time. I have a good support system right now. My BF and his family are really sweet and caring. I'm just not ready to say these things out loud. Once this is all done, I'm deleting my social medias that they have contact with, changing my phone number and disappearing from them. I already talked to my sister and it's not much of a bigger step than I had already taken, but some of them do still have my phone number and I don't want any chance of anyone reaching out to me. My sister has always been on my side and agrees to keep my life and everything a secret from them. She'll go pick up my siblings every once in a while so I can speak to them and keep contact since they live with my mom. I told them also not to call me if she's around, but they don't even have phones right now, so it's not a big deal. That's all for now. Sorry it was so long. That's for reading. Edit. I just want to thank everyone for the support and kind words. I was worried posting it just BC Reddit isn't really the best place to find K-in words sometimes. It seems like a lot of you guys went through something similar and I hope you guys have already found peace or at least get justice someday also. I saw all the comments regarding EDMR therapy and I'll definitely look into that also. But thank you guys. I'm expecting a call from the detective in the morning, so I hope that goes well. My sister told me that they didn't have enough evidence, which was the whole reason she got me involved. I thought that was weird. BC, I thought they took claims like that more seriously, ESP, when the person making the claim was a minor at the time of the incident. I don't know what they're expecting as evidence, but hopefully what I have to say will help out. When I found out about my brother, I had gotten just enough courage to email the county CPS department, and it included a short statement of events, his name and a photo of him. It's dated and everything, and it's the only physical thing I have. Since there are multiple claims, maybe that will mean something? I reached out to my cousin also. It was awkward since I haven't talked to her in 10 years, but I told her how I tried when we were younger and I begged for help for her. BC, I was worried and that I wished things didn't happen the way that they did. She focusing on healing RN, which is good, and she's getting out of that house, so I'm happy for her. We're on a good path RN, and I believe things will work out how they should. I showed my BF this when he got home from work. BC, I felt bad that he didn't know what was going on, and one of the comments suggested this. He had been holding me while I cried and he felt really bad that couldn't offer help or anything. BC, he didn't know what was wrong. Now he's just angry at all of my family. He had known for most of our relationship that me and my family weren't close and that I didn't like my mom, and he's always respected that and didn't push, but now knowing the full reason, he's just so mad and full of hate for them as well. I did want that for him, and I think that's what was so upsetting about telling him, but he's been really sweet to me since, and I'm really grateful for him.